Hello guys! Recently we have been receiving a lot of questions about how our equipment works in our social networks and here at the training courses. So we have decided to make your life easier and made a list of top 10 questions on a test bench MS111 for AC compressors. Renat, our technical specialist, will help us to consider these questions in detail. Hello Renat!
Hi everyone!
I will be interviewing you.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's start. So, the first question is, what is the peculiarity of the test bench?
Our test bench has two peculiarities. The first is that we use R134A Freon for testing, which makes testing conditions to be maximum similar to those when the compressor operates under natural conditions on the car. The second is that we can both check the compressor operating condition and run after repair. For example, if we change the compressor internal elements, like pistons or cylinders, so we should run them. For this regard, we use the test bench. These two features are the most important.
Renat, you have answered even the next question about what refrigerant is used for the test bench, and we got the answer. It is R134A.
By the way, I should notice that we can test not only compressors operating under the refrigerant R134A, but also R1234, which is used for modern cars. It is more eco-friendly and better for the environment. So we can check compressors operating under R1234 too.
That's clear. Next question, what filters are used in the test bench and how often they should be replaced?
The most common filters are used in the test bench. Water and polypropylene filters with the cell size of 1 micron. You can buy them in a regular store where the water purification system and etc. is sold. The filters are cheap. The test bench implies 2 installed in series and the frequency of replacement depends on the intensity of repair, the number of inspections per day, but approximately every 100 inspections. Though this figure is conditional because the internal state of the compressors differs. The old oil from the compressor must be completely drained before testing and the test oil must be filled in 20 cubic millimeters. Moreover, the diagnostics program will inform about the filter replacement in case of necessity.
As I understand, you can see everything on a display. Clear. The first question, how can I understand in what condition the compressor is? Does the program assess the compressor operation?
Unfortunately, the test bench program cannot provide definite instructions about the technical condition of the compressor up to date. This requires a database of performance data for compressors on which our specialists are now working. Therefore, conclusions about the compressor condition makes the repair specialists personally. The main criteria are the low pressure value LP, which should be in the range from 1.6 to 2.4 bar, and the high pressure value HP, from 8 to 16 bar. Also, the temperature on the evaporator should drop to 5 degrees or less. And of course, after each running of the compressor, it is recommended to check the condition of oil after draining it from the compressor. The compressor can be sent to the sales warehouse when the oil is clean and transparent after testing and doesn't contain metal particles.
And the next question is very interesting. What should I do if the test bench is broken?
Well, our test benches never break. But if you have doubts about the correctness of the test bench indication, you can always contact our technical support service. Our specialists will connect to the test bench remotely via TeamViewer and solve the problem, in most cases. Or recommend to send the test bench for repair.
So, if someone has such a problem with our equipment, they can contact us and we will help them.
Yes.
Clear. Next, how often should I fill the test bench with Freon?
Every time when we test the compressor, we disconnect it, and after the diagnostics, there is a small amount of Freon in the compressor, the amount of some milligram. The total amount of the refrigerant to fill the compressor is 1.1 kilogram. Correspondingly, in about 50 procedures of testing, you will have to add the refrigerant to the test bench. How we can understand that the test bench is lacking the sufficient refrigerant? In this case, the compressor temperature will increase. So, if we notice that the compressor housing has a high temperature, which is indicated on the test bench sensor, it means that we have to check the refrigerant amount and add it in case of necessity.
So, you mean that there is a special sensor on the test bench for a user to determine the level of the refrigerant, right?
Yes, also I would like to add that the compressor is filled with a filling station. It has two ways of filling, with a refrigerant cylinder, scales and a pressure control station, or we can also do it with an automatic AC system filling station.
The next question: under which operating system does the bench computer work?
Our computer operates under Windows 10, the one which is integrated in the test bench. Also, it is not that important, because the program doesn't consume much resources. That is why we use Windows 10 licensed version.
8th question: what types of compressors can the test bench test?
Almost all types used by automotive manufacturers. Spiral, rotary, piston with a constant volume, piston with a variable volume, with an inclined disc, piston opposed, with electromagnetic valve, or simply with electromagnetic clutch.
9th question: what is the percentage of irreparable compressors?
In the process of repair, there are some cases when the compressor is irreparable, due to worn components or significant mechanical damage of the housing. Approximately 20–30% of tested compressors, which is 2 or 3 out of 10, cannot be reconditioned.
So we can say that it is a minimal amount.
Yes, it average and is considered to be okay.
And the last question: how does the load on the compressor change on the test bench?
To change the load is very important for testing the compressor under different modes. We change the load by changing the fan speed on the condenser and the evaporator, just like in the car. When you want to cool the car inside at the hot weather, the load on the compressor will increase, the evaporator fan rotation increases as well as the condenser fan rotation. Our test bench has the same mechanism, by way of changing the fan rotation and the compressor rotation itself.
Rinat, thanks a lot for your answers. Hope now all the questions are considered thoroughly. Guys, if you still have any questions about operation of the test bench MS111 or any other equipment, feel free to contact us through social networks or YouTube. In the future, we are planning to make more videos with consideration of your questions. Subscribe to our channels, like our post, follow the news. See you soon!